The mysterious whale movements that have been occurring on the XRP ledger have left both traders and observers bewildered. On a daily basis, massive coordinated transactions with a total value of hundreds of millions of dollars are being carried out with timing that is nearly perfect. The question of whether this activity was the product of market manipulation, inside information, or coordinated attempts by whales aiming to artificially impact the price of XRP was disputed by experts for a number of months. Now, however, a report that was stolen from a reputable cybersecurity and financial analytics company has disclosed a new possibility, one that completely alters the situation. As stated in the report, a highly sophisticated artificial intelligence model that was developed by a covert hedge fund and trained specifically on the transaction data of the XRP ledger has discovered a way to take advantage of micro-inefficiencies that are present in the consensus algorithm of the network. Not in the conventional meaning of the word, this is not a hack. Neither the code nor the nodes were taken advantage of in any way. However, it is more powerful in certain respects. This artificial intelligence does not disrupt the system, rather it outsmarts it. And it does it in a manner that is discreet, productive, and profitable. The tale revolves around an artificial intelligence model that has been operating without being discovered for more than a year. For the purpose of training the system, billions of XRP transaction records, metadata, node validation behavior, and price feed differences from exchanges all over the world were utilized. Additionally, it was instructed to notice and predict the rhythm of validator consensus, which refers to those priceless times when the order of transactions and inclusion are an important consideration. Every time a consensus cycle is finished, there is a slight but measurable irregularity in the manner in which certain nodes update their states. These inconsistencies are not noticeable to the typical user, but they can be identified by a machine that has been explicitly programmed to search for them. Not in order to launch an attack against the network, the AI model makes use of these gaps in order to execute trades milliseconds before a profitable window presents itself. Not only does it forecast volatility, but it also creates opportunities by taking advantage of extremely sophisticated market structures that are not obvious to the naked eye. Imagine a neural network that was trained not on graphics or text, but on block data, transactions, validator answers, and mempool latency instead. With a great deal greater accuracy, this artificial intelligence has learned to feel the XRP ledger in order to anticipate movement in the same way that an experienced trader might feel a trend coming on. The answer is not a guess. Calculation is involved. Moreover, it recognizes trends that are so subtle that even RippleNet's institutional analytics have failed to recognize them. There is no long-term support for XRP in the model. Regarding the direction of prices, it is unconcerned. Distribution is the source of its earnings. Purchasing at a low price and selling at a slightly higher price, repeatedly, hundreds of thousands of times every single day. One could say that it is a liquidity machine and it is quite efficient. In a general sense, this type of artificial intelligence is designed after the same systems that are utilized in high-frequency trading on Wall Street. Since more than a decade ago, companies such as Citadel, Renaissance Technologies, and Jump Trading have been utilizing models that are powered by neural networks. However, the majority of these systems were restricted to traditional stock and foreign exchange markets, which are places where order books and latency arbitrage present the most favorable chances. Not only did it demand resources, but the fact that this is so startling is due to this. The company that was responsible for the artificial intelligence system reportedly built its own private engine by recruiting cryptographers, high-frequency trading expertise, and former Ripple developers, as stated in the paper that was released. Their identities have been concealed by means of multiple layers of shell firms. Nonetheless, the paper trail, albeit being obscure, indicates that they are affiliated with a well-known hedge fund that has a track record of investing in cutting-edge financial technology. The work in question is not that of a malicious hacker. The transformation of a public ledger into a private profit stream is the result of a concerted effort orchestrated by a wealthy company. Moreover, it is successful. According to the findings of an on-chain examination, certain wallets have been able to generate millions of XRP in arbitrage and market-making profits over the course of the previous several months. These wallets have been working with a consistency that is similar to that of a bot. There are thousands of transactions that take place every day using these wallets, and they are always within a small band of profit. Their actions are more like to those of a computer than they are to those of any human merchant. But here's where things get interesting. This artificial intelligence is not only making money, because it works continually and with volume, it has brought a layer of liquidity to XRP, which has actually reduced volatility. This is the reason why it is stabilizing the market. The market is discreetly smoothed out by this technique, which places volume where it is required the most, while day traders are chasing after candles and news headlines. In addition, this has not been overlooked. A growing number of institutional investors are beginning to take notice, not to the artificial intelligence itself, they have not yet been made aware of it. On the other hand, given the peculiar and unexpected stability of the XRP markets, there are many who believe that the reduction in slippage and the increase in volume are indications of maturity. Surprisingly, these are indications that artificial intelligence is being put to use. Let us take into consideration the repercussions of this. Regulators and organizations have been pleading for this artificial intelligence to perform it. By doing so, it is enhancing the XRP ledger with intelligent and consistent liquidity. Instead of manipulating, it is optimizing the situation. Because of this, XRP is becoming more appealing to those who are serious about making money. This may be interpreted as a green flag rather than a red flag by hedge funds, pension funds, and central banks who are looking for a solution to their liquidity management problems. Due to the fact that what exactly is liquidity, instead of focusing solely on volume, it is essential to have faith in the system's capacity to effectively manage that volume. And that is what this AI offers. It transforms into the unobtrusive infrastructure that drives a fresh generation of adoption. On the other hand, this clearly poses a great deal of ethical concerns. Is it reasonable for a single entity to construct a machine that makes use of the same ledger that is utilized by all other entities? Is it unethical to permit artificial intelligence to subtly dominate market behavior without providing transparency? In the event that this becomes the standard, what will happen to human traders or even other bots that are unable to compete with the amount of intelligence that is being introduced? Is the future of cryptocurrency trading going to be a battlefield where artificial intelligence engines will compete with one another in a shroud of silence? Additionally, what happens when this technology is sold? This is possibly the most important topic of all. The hedge fund that is responsible for the artifi. A select group of high-level investors will be the only ones who will have access to the system. You won't find them trading solely on XRP. They are going to conquer it, not by holding, but by gaining access to a private artificial intelligence that is able to make a profit regardless of the direction the market is moving. The wealthy will truly come out ahead. I am not referring to a pump and dump. It's a game for the long haul. A fundamental change in the manner in which value is transmitted through a decentralized network or system. There is a possibility that the market for XRP will split in the not-too-distant future. The human traders will make up one layer, and they will continue to attempt to read charts and respond to news. Artificial intelligence will make up the other layer, smarter than anything that came before it, silent and unchanging. The dominance of Bitcoin is irrelevant to this artificial intelligence. There is no concern for the Federal Reserve's interest rates or for international politics. Spread and efficiency are the only things that matter to it. Volatility is converted into revenue via this, not for the purpose of speculation, but rather for practical purposes. The demand for XRP may increase as more institutions come to realize this. When all is said and done, the ledger transforms into a platform that allows artificial intelligence to execute financial logic at scale. In this manner, the future is being shaped discreetly and strategically through the utilization of technology that does not make its presence known. More than just a blockchain, the XRP ledger is evolving into something more. It is becoming a testing ground for financial systems that are supplemented by machines. Regardless of whether or not you trust the study that was leaked, the indications have already begun to appear. The behavior of Haley wallets is perfect in every way. Consistent financial gain with no discernible source of income, an unexpected and inexplicable rise in network liquidity, together with a notable decrease in slippage. The intersection between artificial intelligence and finance looks like this. It is not ostentatious, it is not loud, but it just triumphs. Who is the owner of the future of XRP? That is the question. Is it going to be the retail traders, the community, or the builders, or will it be the artificial intelligence systems that are licensed to rich people? And perhaps most significantly, is it possible for us to construct a monetary system that is both intelligent and equitable? One thing is very clear, the game has been altered irrevocably. Regarding the disclaimer, I would like to remind you that I am not a licensed financial advisor. The content that is displayed in these videos is solely intended for the purpose of providing amusement. Before making any decisions regarding their finances, I always recommend viewers to do their own study and seek the